Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webcast, Integrated ERP and CRM, 4 Key Benefits and How to Achieve Them. My name is Kelly Hansen. I will be your host for today's webcast. We're coming to you live from the SugarCRM headquarters in Cupertino, California. Before we get started with this webcast, I just wanted to share some exciting news with everybody from Sugar's end. SugarCon 2012 is right around the corner. This year's event will be April 23rd through the 26th, and it will be held at the Palace Hotel in San Francisco. So we wanted to just share how excited we are with everybody about this, and if you'd like to learn more, we have our website up and running, which we are so excited about. You can visit the website today and register for the upcoming event. And also, what we want to do is make you the star of this year's SugarCon. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you want to learn about. So if you visit the website, you can also submit ideas for tracks and sessions, and we really want to know what you want to learn about so we can try to make this event as interactive as possible. So with that, let's get back to today's webcast. Before we begin, just a couple housekeeping items. This webcast is being recorded. So I sent out a note to everybody in the chat box that this will be posted on our website, and you will also be receiving a follow-up email with a link to this recording. So just wanted to reiterate that. If you're having any issues with sound throughout this webcast, please make sure you send to the host in the chat box, and I'll get those fixed for you as soon as possible. And then if you have any questions throughout this webcast, please put them into the Q&A box on the lower right-hand side of your screen. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to our moderator for today's event. Joining me is Jan Seismans. Jan is the Senior Director of Product Marketing for SugarCRM, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about Openbravo and about Openbravo's speaker today. So Jan, go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you, Kelly, and welcome everybody. With over 2 million downloads and deployed in over 50 countries, Openbravo is the world's leading web-based commercial open source ERP solution. It's the perfect back office solution for companies that are using SugarCRM, which is the world's most leading commercial open source CRM solution. So together with SugarCRM, Openbravo delivers a unique combination of productivity. It's a web-based UI that is powerful and easy to use and learn. Business agility. There's over 400 modules in Openbravo and SugarCRM that can be assembled to fit solutions, easy interoperability, flexible deployment, and lastly, a sustained ROI for giving our customers a cost-effective, model-driven, and incrementally upgradable full customer control. So with us is John Fandel. John joined Openbravo in 2009 as Director of Product Strategy and now is the Product Marketing Director for Openbravo. John is an enterprise software veteran who has spent the last 25 years leading and working for business application software companies across the areas of product marketing strategy, product management, software development, and customer support. John, welcome to today's webcast, and I look extremely forward to hearing from you today. So we're going to pass you the controls, and you're good to go.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jan. That was really a mouthful. So let's start. This is the overall agenda. I'm going to start with an overview, a little bit of the products, and then how we've integrated them together. We'll have a little bit of a show and tell on Openbravo, just so you can see what we're talking about. We have a little case study as well of the integrated solution. And then we'll kind of talk generically about 4 key benefits of the integrated solution. So let's get started. As Jan said, we're the leading web-based open source ERP for small and medium-sized enterprises. Just to kind of get a feel for the industries that we play in, if you look along the left-hand side, you can see distribution and retail are some primary focuses. We've got customers across the board, and these customers are all over the world. As Jan said, we have about 2 million downloads, over 2 million now. But of course, that's not really the story. Anybody has downloads. We also have a lot of organizations that rely on Openbravo. Now, this is a combination of our commercial product and also our open source product, we have an opt-in technology that lets us monitor, lets people tell us, what they're doing with the system, and we've had some really good steady growth on that on the ERP side. As Jan said, Sugar's claim to fame now is the fastest growing customer relationship management company, over 850,000 individual users in 192 companies. Wow. So that's kind of the overview of the companies. Now let's drill down into the product level, and I'll take a look at the integration capability that we've built in, and like I said, I'll briefly discuss a customer success story. Okay, so first, we really think that these two products, just conceptually, right, CRM and ERP, are natural complements to each other. Regarding Openbravo and CRM products specifically, they're both offering very competitive, broad functionality at a competitive cost, highly robust and reliable platforms, and being open source, they're very adaptable to your specific business processes. Also, 100% web-based options, as well as multiple deployment options, right? So just like SugarCRM is seeing things more and more going to the cloud, Openbravo is as well. So we think there's a lot of synergy here just conceptually between these two products. Now, I know a lot of you are attending live here on this event from the Sugar side, and you might not be familiar with Openbravo or with even ERP. So here's a picture of Openbravo's fully integrated comprehensive back office functionality. So you can see Openbravo covers your accounting, does all the heavy lifting for your core business processes, right? We cover the purchasing side, your inventory, the sales management, order processing side. We also have project management and production and MRP, okay? So now I want to put a face to the name, so to speak, and just give you a really brief demo of Openbravo 3 so you get a sense of the user experience of what we're talking about. Okay, so I just, I'm sorry, I need to share my desktop first. 1 second here. Okay, so I think you should be seeing my desktop now. What you're seeing here right now is the Openbravo 3 workspace, which is the first screen that you get when you log in. And we've got these nice little widgets here that you can let users move around. If I don't want my calendar on here, I can go delete that. If I want to add additional widgets, I can do that as well. The admin obviously controls everything that's loaded into here. So I can just take something, add it. You can see here it added it in the lower right-hand corner. Some of these are reporting widgets. This one's an integration to Zoho report. You can see I'm clicking on a chart, and this actually called out to Zoho to bring me the tabular information. Okay, so the idea here is that Openbravo really, we're focusing on ease of use and we're focusing on end-user empowerment. Okay, but one of the things about ERP, obviously, it's not just ease of use. It really has to be good for transactions, okay, and to find information. So in this, actually, just to show you my data a little bit here, I'll show you the organizational setup. We've got what we call our food and beverage group. This is our demo data. We've got a division in the U.S. and one in Spain, and each of those has 2 subdivisions, right? And these are modeled as organizations. So here, I'm signed on with a role that's a group admin. Okay, so when you sign in, you can specify these types of things. Your role is a primary thing. You can also switch your language. The product is fully multilingual in the UI. But what I want to show now is the filtering. So above organization, I'm typing US, right? And you can see it's type ahead automatically. I'm filtered in to the US organizations. Now I select a specific one, and a few things happen. The tab at the top, okay, automatically updates based on the row that I have selected, and the details down below are automatically retrieved as well. Okay, so if I want to show just standard orders, I start typing standard. if I want to show, just big ones, let's say standard orders greater than 500, okay, there they are. Right, now that's pretty easy, but maybe I want to save that, right? So I can say, big U.S. orders, okay? And I can save that. And now let me clear my filters. And then let me choose my big U.S. orders. And there it is. And of course I can set that as my default, okay? Additionally, everything that you do in Openbravo is fully linkable, okay? So now I have a document link here. I can take it, I can copy it to my clipboard, I can paste it into Skype, and I can share. So if somebody has authority to this, right, they click on it, and they're going to see this exact screen with the exact filtering capabilities, okay? One other thing I want to show really quickly is, let's change this to the quotes, so I could type correctly here. And I guess I don't have any bigger than 500, so let me clear that one. And I'll take a quotation, and let's go down and I'll show you how easy it is to change order quantities. And it's really just like spreadsheets, right? So I'm going to change this one to 220, right? And you can go down to the next one, reduce this one to 6, etc. Now, I'm double-clicking on this order at the top to go into Form View, okay? So this is for a particular record. And watch again now as I change. Okay, watch the amounts at the top, right? So they're going to automatically update as I add or subtract order quantities. Okay, adding new lines just as easy. Okay, so very simple user experience. Very broad functionality here. Just kind of show you the menu structure here. Okay, and everything you're seeing here, all these screens, everything is model driven. Okay, so all these screens are rendered dynamically from our model. Okay, very consistent, and it's not just two levels here. I'm selecting an order line, and now down at the lower left, I can see that there's a line text here as well. And every part of the model has both a form view and a grid view. Okay, so the other part I wanted to show is that the interface is fully multi-tab. Okay, so you can see at the top, I had toggled between tabs. I can show a business partner here. I'm going to click on his location, and let's maximize this guy. And as you can see, our widgets are also embeddable right inside the transaction screens as well. Okay, so it's not just something that's on the workspace. So I just wanted to give you a little feel for what Openbravo looks like, and now let's step back and take a look at our connector for SugarCRM. Okay, so back to the slides, and the first thing I want to talk about the connector is that it's an Openbravo-based application. It's a module that actually installs directly into Openbravo, and everything that this integration module does is based on web service calls, which makes it very cloud-friendly. All you have to do is define endpoints. No ODBC or JDBC, no direct database at all, right? It's all based on web services. And it's all entirely data-driven and extensible. So out of the box, some metadata is included, for the accounts and products and price lists and orders, but a customer can take this and change it, right, to integrate to any other SugarCRM objects out there, okay? So the idea here is we have embedded this kind of web service specific ETL tool in there to really make it simple and robust and easy to change, and it's bidirectional. So let me show you a few screenshots here. On this side, maybe it's a little detailed, but you can see this is totally within the Openbravo 3 user interface, and you're setting up your synchronization settings here. In this example, a sync point, I'm going to sync the Openbravo business partner table with the SugarCRM accounts table. And then if I were to click on the data synchronization tab down here, this third level, this is where I get a field by field mapping, and I can put, SQL statements or other scripting things to massage the data as it comes across. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to show here? Yeah, actually, if you, as a customer of Openbravo, if you license this, you get the out-of-the-box SugarCRM, but since it's a data-driven application, you can actually use this to synchronize data with any other application that's modern, like Sugar, that has a web services API. Of course, everything that you, all the sync points that you establish, they can all be scheduled, okay? And in this example, I'm saying run this particular one every minute, okay? This could be daily or hourly or, there's a whole series of options here for how to schedule this, okay? So now let's take a look at a specific customer success story, the Focon Institute in Spain. They're an online education service, and which is really big in Spain right now. They have huge unemployment, and a lot of people are going for retraining. So these guys are actually, they're booming. Their business challenge is really driven by their growth, right? So their functional areas are all around delivering these training classes and managing grants with the government, managing their HR, and of course their marketing and campaign management. So now, you might not think of this, ERP, wait a minute, this is a service business, right? But Openbravo, as an ERP, it's a back office system. It gets applied to service businesses as well. So let's take a look here on the Sugar side. You can see the types of things that they're managing. In terms of what they define on the interface, the tuition and pre-registrations are coming across into Openbravo, and the invoicing information is coming back into Sugar to be made available. So here's a quote from their director. He said, after the implementation of Openbravo ERP and its integration with SugarCRM, the sales processes, course management, invoicing, and personnel management have become much easier. So this has really freed Focon up for growth. Now, that was a specific example, right? So I want to step back now and focus on 4 general benefits that any business can expect from deploying integrated CRM and ERP. Now, as you look at these, you can see these benefits, they're all about providing the best business tools for the job to achieve the best business results. So let's start with the insight and control. Now, integrating your ERP with your CRM provides your executive team with the overall process transparency and insight that they require to understand, monitor, and drive the business. Now, without this integration, what we see happening is that finance tends to get out of sync with sales, you get confusion, you get finger pointing, and reduced confidence across departments and with the other department, right? Probably that sounds familiar. And you know what? We're not just talking about high-level monthly control here. This word real-time is really important in this context. In today's fast-paced world, your processes need to be consistent, repeatable, and monitored, right, in order for you to compete and grow. Now, integrating your CRM and ERP provides the real-time, or maybe I should say right-time control that you need, because as I said, with Openbravo, with the integration, the customer is in full control over the frequency of each individual synchronization job. So now let's step back let's drill down actually from the overall insight and control, and let's talk specifically about the order life cycle, which is critical for any business. Now, complete order-to-cash process automation is required to satisfy customers and keep them coming back for more, which is what CRM is really all about, right? But if your company can't fulfill consistently, generate timely and accurate invoices, efficiently manage the returns, all the other back office functions, then the best CRM in the world is not going to help you. Both the CRM and the ERP must be operating well together to deliver the best-in-class customer service to drive repeat business. If your accounts receivable clerk right? If she's out of the loop regarding a new opportunity with an existing customer, well, we all know what happens. So now let's turn from the business processes to the data itself, which is really the lifeblood of the enterprise. Now, in too many companies, without a good ERP implementation, when Openbravo comes in, we find there's a huge data quality issue, which we think has its root in the fact that various departments maintain their own data silos. There's no formal data management or integration in place, so nobody can be held accountable, and the data become unreliable. Now think about that. As more and more automation is attempted, right, to achieve more customer intimacy, data quality becomes more and more critical. Garbage in, garbage out, right? Think about what the retailers are faced with now, right? You've got Amazon coming in with applications on phones, and they give people money to scan prices and do competitive intelligence for Amazon, okay? So what do you think retailers need to do, right? They really need to establish more customer intimacy, and they need great data about their customers. The solution is to properly integrate CRM and ERP, and that's easily achieved with Openbravo. So with a robust ERP backbone and this ability to easily share and maintain the master file information on both sides bidirectionally, right? These data silos, we eliminate them. The customer data quality improves rapidly, and this is really the huge part, people all across the enterprise, they start to trust that critical customer data, and they use it to drive decision making. Okay? So finally, we've been talking about really, the business itself, right, and these core business issues. I want to take a step back from the business side and look at things from the IT perspective, right, and the strategy to support it all. So what we're advocating here clearly is a best-of-breed application strategy when it comes to CRM and ERP. Now, we think right now what's happened with web services, they've really matured, right, and they're the underlying enabler of this. They've come of age. So you really don't have to compromise anymore, especially when you have a robust ERP backbone like Openbravo that makes the integration so easy. You really can get the best of both worlds, right? So on the business side, you want to drive your revenue with the best-in-class CRM, and you want to lower your costs and optimize your core business processes with your ERP. Now, with Openbravo and SugarCRM together, the end result is true business agility. Now, think about it. In this day and age, right, you're constantly tweaking and extending and optimizing your business systems. This is not a one-time thing here, okay? This is a journey, but you need to start the journey somewhere, right? So let's talk really briefly on how you can get started, and then I'll close for questions. With Openbravo, we've actually just recently announced a program where we have a professional edition trial. We actually let you try it for 30 days, and you get free access to many of the free with Openbravo professional edition commercial modules that we bundle with the product. You can go into our central repository from within the ERP, and you can download them, you can install them directly into the product, and you can try them. So these trial accounts last for a period of 30 days, and then they're non-renewable. If you want to try again, you can go get another one and do it with another Openbravo instance. So on the support side, it's community-based support, right? And if you look at wiki.openbravo.com, you see a huge number of resources there to help you out. So I don't know if you can read this, but it's openbravo.com/product/ERP/free-trial, and that's from our homepage. Okay, so on the Openbravo side, 30 days. Sugar, CRM's easier, than ERP. 7 days is probably more than enough on the SugarCRM side. So again, very complementary approaches here, open source with commercial, professional functionality on top, with both freely available for you to try. Okay, so now I hope this has been useful for you in kind of what we've brought to the table here in terms of our integration, a little bit about Openbravo, and some of the benefits that we expect more and more people are going to get from this integration. So now I'll hand it back to Jan, and we can go through the Q&A section.
Thank you, John. There's a lot of questions around what editions of or what versions of Openbravo and SugarCRM work together. So could you go over a little bit which editions and versions work together? There's a great number of open source users in the call as well. So they're asking if the Openbravo Community Edition works with SugarCRM Community Edition, and which versions work with both of the commercial open source solutions.
Okay, sure. So what I showed was Openbravo 3, right, and I showed you some of those configuration screens. That one's just in final testing, and for Openbravo 3, it's going to be out, they're telling me by the end of this year. Okay, so, coming soon. Get your trial and on Openbravo 3, and you'll be able to do it. The particular customer that I showed, Focon, they implemented it on 250, where it was Openbravo version 250, where it was originally developed. I'm not actually sure on the Sugar side for that one. I do know that they said that at the end of this year, the Openbravo integration will work with the latest Sugar release.
And that's on the commercial open source, no?
Yes, exactly. Now, in terms of the community, how Openbravo works is this is a commercial extension module, and commercial extension modules can only be installed into a activated edition that has a professional subscription. So, if your community, this is something sure you can do yourself, right? If you'd like. Everything is documented with Openbravo, but if you want this, metadata-driven, fully robust and tested synchronization, no, that's not something that works with the Community Edition. That's a professional-only product.
So that's on the same side as well. The integration of POS Openbravo, the POS connector is an integration that is with the commercial solutions of SugarCRM as well. Then.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What is the another question that was coming around is what is the cost of the POS connector?
So everything with Openbravo is an annual subscription, and this connector is $4,000 US per year. Now keep in mind that the customers who are using this, they're not necessarily just using this for Sugar. As I said, the Sugar comes out of the box with that metadata that you load in. It gets loaded in as a data set automatically. But if you have other systems, like something like an e-commerce system or something else, anything else that supports web services, this connector lets you connect to it on a data-driven basis. So that really, there's a lot of engineering actually behind this, to generate these the web services properly and do all the logging, all the auditing, all the restart. It's a great infrastructure to do your data synchronization.
Okay. From a database support standpoint, does Openbravo support MySQL?
No. Actually, we support, on the open source side, we support Postgres, the Postgres database, and we support Oracle for the large accounts that require really high scalability. We have a long-term goal in our development group of database independence, but frankly, that's a few years out.
Okay. We know in SugarCRM, one of the key differentiations with SugarCRM is the freedom of deployment. You can choose to deploy SugarCRM pretty much wherever you want to. So whether that is behind your firewall on premise, we have the SugarCRM, the Sugar on Demand environment, but we also have a great number of our customers who host Sugar, both Sugar Community Edition as well as our professional editions, commercial open source editions, who host those on Amazon Web Services. Do you have an AMI, an Amazon Machine image that customers could use to host on Amazon Web Services as well?
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. So we publish the native AMIs for most of the Amazon regions. We do both the 32-bit and the 64-bit. Our Openbravo AMI, and actually, so you know, for community versus professional, it's the same package, right? It's an appliance, and you can upgrade it with a key as well to go professional, but it's the same AMI. It includes the full open source stack. It has the Linux OS. It has the Postgres database, you know, the Tomcat app server, all these other bits, totally pre-configured, optimized, just for what you need. So, you know, if you're, you're coming from the Sugar side and you want to try out Openbravo for the first time, doing it on Amazon is a dead easy way to do it, because you don't have to, allocate any of your own hardware or anything. And then, if you like it and you want to go for a formal pilot, go for the professional edition trial, it's all there. You start that way, and more and more of our customers actually, and even in the community editions that we see coming in, the data that we collect from the field, we're seeing more and more usage actually of Amazon Web Services, basically all around the world. I guess it's just so convenient, and people have sufficient bandwidth to the internet. They love being able to access it, pretty much from anywhere. And we handle all the security as well within the appliance. You access it with SSH, so everything is very secure. So yeah, I think the Amazon and the cloud story, I suspect from looking at your guys' website, it's actually fairly similar with what we offer.
There was a follow-up question on the cost of the POS connector, John, which is that you said it was $4,000 per year. Is that per machine license or per organization? What specifically is that?
Well, it's for a production Openbravo instance. And let me speak to that a little bit, because an Openbravo instance can actually, it's actually multi-organization and even multi-tenant. Okay, so I mean, normally with Openbravo, even if you're a multinational, like what I was showing there with the data setup that we have in our demo data, right? We're actually showing, a Spanish company with a U.S. subsidiary, and we actually have localizations that are installed at the organizational level. So the Spanish guys actually have a Spanish chart of accounts, right, an accounting schema, and then you have an integrated one, right, for Spain, and then the U.S. has its own, and they have their own localization. So when you think about Openbravo and what an instance means for, almost all companies, you're going to want to implement Openbravo in a single instance because there's really just no reason not to. You've got the control, you've got the data security at the organization level, and you've got that ability, to do reporting across organizations and, harmonizing everything on the currency side as well. So when you sign in, when you give organizations to a role, when I sign in with a role, okay, I can only see the organizations that are tied to that role. And additionally, if I want to tailor some screens, which is one thing I didn't really show, I can rearrange the screens and I can save them. I can make custom versions of screens for specific organizations, right? And I can add fields and make them only tied to a certain organization. So if the U.S., has some additional data to capture, they can go do that with their own screens, and the guys in Spain don't have to care at all. So, sorry, that was a long answer to a short question, but it's really the subscriptions are per production instance. Of course, we let you use it in your test and QA instances as well.
The integration between Openbravo and SugarCRM, is that a standard out-of-the-box integration? So if I use a standard SugarCRM deployment and I didn't make too many customizations to it, could I use a standard Openbravo instance, and will the integration work out of the box, or do I need to do more customization work to make it work?
Well, typically, I mean, when you say customization, it's actually going to the screens and specifying the tables and the fields in each case, and then any data massaging that you might want to do. You know, sometimes people have, you know, naming conventions and things built in. You know, especially sales guys tend to do that. They tend to bomb a lot of things into IDs and things, and maybe you want to strip things apart, right? Because we have formal fields for them in the ERP, for example. So I don't really want to say that. I mean, I'd say typically for a production implementation, normally you're not going to take it out of the box, but there's no coding, right? I mean, you're actually just going to screen. It's really configuration, you know.
So there's some configuration that needs to be done.
Yes. Oh yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. It's not going to be a drop in to go live typically at all, because it's going to be some data specific. You know. I mean, you do have to look at it.
So we had a couple questions around the differences between the Openbravo open source solution and the Openbravo commercial open source solution. What are some of the key differences, John, that you would highlight?
Well, so there's if you go to our website, you can go to the product section. We have a compare editions table that kind of highlights it. There's a few premium modules, for example, the manufacturing and MRP and the project and services management. So those are actually entire functional areas that are commercial only. And the reason we've done that, frankly, is people don't tend to, they tend to be quite deep modules, and they require professional services to implement properly. We just have too many people flooding our forums with questions, and they go round and round. So we really wanted to tie those to our partners, right, our professional partner network. There's some other things that are more for higher-end customers, like there's a built-in auditing facility where you can turn on auditing for any database table, and you can audit, even the deletes that are on the table. And it's a really nice feature. If you want to, say you saw my demo a little bit and you want to get hands-on, even before downloading it, you can go to demo.openbravo.com and you just get in and you can play with it yourself. And that's actually a professional edition instance that has all the professional edition features. So in general, we're seeing we ourselves add features for larger customers, and some of them are some ease of use features that you're seeing from us, like what I showed, that ability to once I tailored that grid, right, and I put filters on it, the ability to save that with a name. That's an example of a professional edition feature. Something, users really like, but you don't necessarily need it to run the system. So philosophically, when we look at our product strategy, we want people to use our community edition. We want to deliver a fully, a conceptually complete product that somebody can run, a small company can run their business with and take it into production, right? And then we add additional features and productivity benefits on top with the commercial edition.
There was one specific question from a customer, is can they integrate Sugar Community Edition, so the Sugar open source solution, with Openbravo Professional Edition, or is that from a licensing standpoint, Sugar Community Edition is AGPL version 3. Does it have any issues of integrating that with the Openbravo Professional Edition?
I don't think there's actually any legal issues involved with that. We encourage commercial open source use, on both sides and with all products that we integrate with. In terms of how the system's actually interacting with Sugar, we're leveraging the Sugar Web Services API. So to the extent that API is present in the Community Edition, it will work and it's legal.
So
you know what I'm saying?
the APIs are present. The thing that is not a feature in Community Edition is our reporting capabilities. So may that have any issues?
No. It's just the Web Services API.
Yeah.
So there's no, we don't touch any Sugar code or anything like that. In fact, I mean, that's the beauty of the Web Services, honestly. Openbravo is coded, it's all Java on the back end, right? And it's all standard web, JavaScript, HTML in the browser. But because and I know a lot of Sugar is PHP based, it's just irrelevant. It doesn't matter with the Web Services. That's the beauty of it.
You spoke at the end of your overview. You talked or you presented both the Openbravo 30-day free trial and the SugarCRM 7-day free trial. Would customers be able to enable the integration between both of the systems in our free trial environment? And then for those customers who are looking, and this is just, I'm doing some clarification, the Sugar free trial comes with pre-populated data. You could always request from the sales representative that you're working with during your free trial environment to get what we call a full evaluation free trial of SugarCRM, and that does not have any data, so you can upload your own data. So if a customer, and that's a 14-day free trial, by the way, then. So if a customer would have the Sugar free full eval and would upload some of their own data, could they then integrate that with the Openbravo free trial?
Yeah, they can, but the actual the connector, right? The Openbravo connector, it's a commercial module that isn't one that's free with the Professional Edition. So just by getting the trial, that doesn't let you install that. You need to go to our partner page and you need to engage an Openbravo business partner for a trial of that. They're happy to work with people on that, but that's not something that is currently being offered as a free download. We've just added our own trial capability, and we're going to be adding the ability to actually also trial commercial modules, but that's not in our infrastructure yet. So right now, Openbravo's model is to, we engage through our business partners. So basically, if you want to assess a commercial module of Openbravo that's not one that's free with the system, then you have to engage one of the Openbravo business partners.
Excellent, thank you. Another question came around global access, and I think the answer to that will be yes, but the person here asking the question is, can I use the system in different countries like Middle East or Africa, or is it standard only in the U.S.? I know on the Sugar side, we don't restrict anything based on geography. Is there any restriction on the Openbravo side?
No, there's no, once you license it, basically we have some different costs in different regions of the world, but you're basically licensing for the corporate organization, right, where the main use is going to be. And then that just determines your pricing. Once you get that established, access is from anywhere. And like I was mentioning with the localizations, in our forge.openbravo.com, we have a lot of people doing localization packs, right? And a great thing about Openbravo is that you can install multiple localization packs inside of a single instance, right? So I really want to stress that when you're thinking about Openbravo, and say you have different organizations in different countries, there's really no reason to have different databases with Openbravo at all.
Okay. There was one question around running Openbravo on the OS side. Does Openbravo only run in Linux, or is it running on other OSs as well?
No, it runs on other OSs as well. It's all Java-based, so it's very portable. On the Windows side, we don't have a native Windows installer, but we do have instructions on how to build it on our wiki. So if you want to deploy on native Windows itself, that's great. With our what we call the Openbravo appliance, right? The AMI on Amazon is really just one flavor of it. You can also download a VMware appliance and or a virtual box, and you can run it on Windows. You can run it on Apple, the Mac OS X if you like. That virtual appliance actually has Linux inside of it, right? But you can run it on a Windows server. Additionally, you can install it, right, as an ISO. You can burn a CD and actually install it natively on the hardware, so you can actually boot up against it. And it's really a nice black box. So, if you want to go to native Windows, you can do it, right, certainly, because it's Java and we provide the instructions. But especially if you're just assessing it, I wouldn't do it unless you're really an expert on how to do this kind of stuff. You're just going to probably get yourself frustrated. The virtual appliance just makes it just so easy to do.
Okay. We're running close to the end of the hour here, so there's still a ton of questions in the Q&A. I would like to thank everybody in the audience for submitting your questions, and please keep on submitting your questions as they come in. We will stay here a little bit longer, and we'll keep on answering them. But in general, this is more of a general question, and I've seen some of the thread in the Q&A here as well. But John, what would you, in summary, what would you say are the key benefits a company will have by integrating their ERP system with their CRM system?
Yeah, I would say, if you look at the benefits that we talked about, just that streamlining that whole customer-facing process, right, and making that data flow and making that data better, right, that end-to-end process visibility and that control. If you have a separate CRM, that's not integrated at all with your back office, you just run into gaps, in your process, and then eventually your customer, it bleeds through to your customer, right? So really, there's internal efficiencies with it, but there's also, ultimately it becomes a customer satisfaction issue, and really can you fulfill your CRM's promise to your customer, right? You need that integrated ERP in order to deliver what that CRM engagement cycle is promising. To me, that's what it comes down to.
Okay. From a mobile access, so SugarCRM can be accessed from Android, BlackBerry, iPhone, iPad. Does Openbravo have a mobile access solution as well? And then the next question is, would the integration be visible with this from a mobile solution at this moment in Openbravo?
So on the mobile side, this is actually a large part of our 2012 roadmap. If you just Google Openbravo roadmap, okay, you're going to get to a wiki page. I don't know it off the top of my head, but Google Openbravo roadmap, get to that wiki page, and if you're interested in the mobile side, there's a presentation that's referenced in there. So basically, we're generating a mobile UI. We're actually, just now, there's a very set of open discussions around it. We have our mock-ups that we're doing. With Openbravo, all these screens are data-driven, right? They're all generated automatically. So we're going, and they're optimized for a desktop currently. You can go, I go to an iPad and I play with Openbravo. It works, but not very well, right? So one of the key things we're doing in the first half of 2012 is focusing on generating a mobile UI that works with the pads and the mobile phones as well. So that's something that's not out yet, but it's currently in process, and you're going to see it in the first half of next year.
Okay.
And in terms of the integration, basically, if the data comes across, right, I mean, you'll see it in the mobile UI as well. So there's really no connection, with the integration per se.
Okay. I'm also putting in the chat message to all participants the link on the Openbravo exchange that talks where people can get the integration with SugarCRM. So if you're looking for that, that is in the chat message as well at this moment. From a multilingual support, how many languages does Openbravo support at this moment?
We've got, I'd say, full support. We have English, we have Spanish, we have French, we have Italian. We've got a partner in Quebec doing French Canadian. Those key languages. We've got a guy in Brazil doing Portuguese, and then I'd say Japanese is about 80% there as well. The rest of the languages, I'd say there's varying support. You might, we have all kinds of projects. There's dozens and dozens of projects on our Forge, but they're not necessarily, they're community projects. So, you can, and really we encourage people, if you're in a smaller country, go to the Forge, look for your country, install the language pack, and collaborate with people. I mean, that's really part of our model, especially on the translation side. We don't have subsidiaries in all different countries, so I'd say we're probably a few years behind where Sugar is in that regard, right, in terms of language translation. But it's very vibrant. People are doing it all the time. And we're very supportive on our side. If you want to translate, it's quite easy to do, and we're actually, it's on our roadmap to improve the process to make it even easier.
Okay, so I think we have it's time for us to wrap up, John. I want to be respectful for everybody's time. We had asked them for our customers here for an hour of their time. We're almost to the top of the hour. In summary, the key takeaways that you would have for anybody on the phone today, whether they're a prospect, whether they're using Openbravo Community Edition or using Sugar Community Edition, and they are considering going to with our commercial open source solutions, what would be the top 3 key takeaways you would like people to walk away with from this webinar?
Well, I'd say, it's easy to try, right? I mean, if you're on Community Edition, try out the professional editions in either case to really see what you're going to get out of it, right? I mean, you can look at web pages and see the Compare Edition. Some things may or not be relevant, and some things that you think may not be relevant may be really, really relevant. I'd say additionally, at least on the Openbravo side, once you have a professional edition subscription, it really opens up a lot of other commercial offerings, like this type of integration. Or, I showed briefly those reporting widgets, right? That's an integration with Zoho reports. That's another example of a commercial integration, actually, that we did. That one happens to come free with the professional edition. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunity available there once you go pro. The other thing I'd say is, at least on the ERP side, I don't know so much with CRM, but most companies' core competency is not implementing an ERP system. They don't do it very often, right? They might have great IT staff, but great IT staff is necessary but not sufficient to implement an ERP. So don't underestimate the value that Openbravo Business Partners can provide, with ERP. I mean, we have a lot of people with ERP, they do a little bit of the Community Edition, but with ERP, you really get more and more and more benefits the more of the functions that you're using. If you're only using a piece of it, you're just getting a little bit of benefit. It is harder to implement across departments, and a lot of times bringing in a business partner can really help and unlock the value that a system like this can bring.
Well, and that's I would follow up on that. It's the same with CRM really as well. Sugar is a wonderful development platform. People who download Sugar Community Edition have full control over the source code, have access to the source code, can make any configuration changes, customization changes they want, can really build any XRM application on top of that. But when you come down to integrating your CRM system with some of your other business critical applications like an ERP system, truly our partner ecosystem is the best place to do that. And the reason why is in a sense simple. They do this all the time. It's the same thing. You drive your car today, but are you comfortable getting on a racetrack? Or do you want to then give your car to somebody who is a professional race car driver and can do this on a day-to-day basis? You may be comfortable changing your oil out, but you may not be comfortable tuning your engine of the car. Even though you have the option and the possibility of completely going in and tuning your engine yourself, you may want to take advantage of the experience that our partners have built over the years by implementing integrations and the experience they've gotten from previous customers from which they integrated it. So where the learning curve for our partners is a lot less on trying to understand your specific business requirements than it would be for you to try to understand the in and outs of both the ERP system and the CRM system, and then building that integration out and doing that effectively. So I completely agree there with you, John. It's the beauty of open source is that we give our customers access to our products and services, and they have an indefinite free trial using our community editions. But there is a huge benefit to working with our business partners who do these integrations on a day-to-day basis and who truly can drive the most value for our customers. So I think that was an excellent point you made. It's the top of the hour, so we would like to end the audio portion of the webcast at this moment. As I said before, we will be staying on for a little bit longer to answer any of the other remaining questions that are in the Q&A. But John, I would like to thank you very, very much for your overview today. ERP is one of the key integrations that our customers have. We hear it all the time. It's great to be able to work with other commercial open source solutions and provide our customers best of breed solutions that are available in the market. So again, thank you very much for what was for me a very interesting and enlightening webinar today. And I hope to be working with you guys more going forward.
Thank you very much, Jan. It was my pleasure as well. And thanks, Kelly.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.